Alexander the Great was one of the greatest military leaders in history. Born in 356 BCE in Pella, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Macedon, he became king at the age of 20 and built one of the largest empires of the ancient world before his death at the age of 32. His remarkable military campaigns, leadership, and visions spread Greek culture across Europe, Asia, and Africa, leaving a lasting impact on world history. Alexander was the son of King Philip II of Macedon and Queen Olympias. His father was a brilliant military reformer who transformed Macedon into the strongest kingdom in Greece. Alexander received an excellent education and was taught by the famous Greek philosopher Aristotle. Under Aristotle's guidance, he studied philosophy, science, literature, politics, and medicine. He admired the heroes of Greek mythology, especially Achilles, whose courage and determination inspired him throughout his life. From an early age, Alexander displayed intelligence, confidence, and leadership. A famous story tells how he tamed the wild horse Bucephalus after realizing that the animal was frightened by its own shadow. His father praised him and predicted that Macedon would be too small for his ambitions. In 336 BCE, King Philip II was assassinated, and Alexander became king at just 20 years old. Although young, he acted quickly to secure his position. He defeated rival claimants to the throne and crushed rebellions among the Greek city-states. When the city of Thebes revolted, Alexander captured and destroyed it, warning others not to challenge his authority. Most Greek states then accepted his leadership. Alexander's greatest ambition was to conquer the Persian Empire, which was then the largest and wealthiest empire in the world. In 334 BCE, he crossed into Asia Minor with an army of about 40,000 soldiers. His first major victory came at the Battle of the Granicus River, where his disciplined army defeated the Persian forces. This victory opened the way for further advances into Persian territory. In 333 BCE, Alexander met the Persian king, Darius III, at the Battle of Issus. Although Darius commanded a much larger army, Alexander's superior tactics and personal leadership won the battle. Darius fled, leaving his family behind. Alexander treated the captured royal family with respect, demonstrating both confidence and generosity. Rather than chasing Darius immediately, Alexander marched south to capture important coastal cities that supported the Persian navy. The most difficult was Tyre, which resisted for 7 months before finally falling to his forces. He also captured Gaza after a fierce siege. These victories secured the eastern Mediterranean coast and weakened Persian naval power. In 332 BCE, Alexander entered Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator because the Egyptians resented Persian rule. He founded the city of Alexandria on the Mediterranean coast. Alexandria later became one of the greatest centers of trade, culture, and learning in the ancient world. During his stay in Egypt, Alexander visited the Oracle of Amun at the Siwa Oasis. The priests reportedly declared him the son of the god Amun, strengthening his belief that he had a divine mission. 331 BCE, Alexander fought the decisive Battle of Gaugamela. Once again, Darius III had a much larger army, but Alexander's careful planning and skilled leadership led to a decisive victory. This battle effectively ended the Persian Empire. Alexander entered the magnificent cities of Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis. Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of Persia, was later burned, although historians still debate whether the fire was intentional or accidental. After Darius III was murdered by one of his own officials, Alexander declared himself the rightful ruler of the Persian Empire. However, he did not stop expanding his empire. He continued his campaigns into Central Asia, where he faced fierce resistance from local tribes. During this period, he married Roxana, a noblewoman from Bactria. Their marriage symbolized his effort to unite the cultures of his growing empire. In 326 BCE, Alexander invaded northwestern India. His most famous battle there was against King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes River. Porus fought bravely with a large army that included war elephants. Despite the difficult conditions, Alexander achieved another victory through careful planning and bold leadership. Impressed by Porus's courage, Alexander allowed him to remain king and rule as an ally instead of removing him from power. Although Alexander wanted to continue farther into India, his soldiers had grown exhausted after years of continuous fighting and long marches. They refused to advance any farther. Realizing that his army had reached its limit, Alexander reluctantly agreed to return. The journey back was extremely difficult, especially while crossing the harsh Jedrosian desert, where many soldiers died from hunger, thirst, and extreme heat. In 323 BCE, Alexander returned to Babylon, where he planned new military campaigns, including an invasion of Arabia. Before these plans could begin, he became seriously ill and died in June 323 BCE at the age of 32. The exact cause of his death remains uncertain. Historians have suggested illnesses such as malaria or typhoid fever, while some ancient accounts claimed he was poisoned, though there is little reliable evidence to support that theory. Alexander left no clear adult successor. As a result, his empire was divided among his leading generals, who fought for control in a series of wars. Although the empire did not remain united, Alexander's influence continued for centuries through the kingdoms established by his successors. Alexander's greatest achievement was not only his military success, but also the spread of Greek culture. His conquests created the Hellenistic Age, during which Greek language, art, philosophy, science, and architecture blended with the cultures of Egypt, Persia, and Central Asia. This cultural exchange encouraged important developments in education, trade, mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Cities founded by Alexander, especially Alexandria in Egypt, became famous centers of learning that attracted scholars from across the ancient world. Today, Alexander the Great is remembered as one of history's greatest military commanders. In just over a decade, he created an empire stretching from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India. His achievements transformed the political and cultural landscape of the ancient world. Although his empire eventually broke apart, his influence on civilization remained strong for centuries. His courage, ambition, leadership, and vision continue to make him one of the most admired and studied figures in world history.